It's your boy TTK. We're back with a quick video for you guys today. Now, Scarlet and Violet being leaked, the whole ROM is on the internet right now. I'm obviously not going to be talking about certain things regarding this game because I don't want to really spoil. What I really want to go over here is discussing the Pokemon that are not returning back into Generation 9, because Generation 9 is already going to be quite a power creep generation, and a lot of notable Pokemon aren't making a return. And some Pokemon will make a return, but not until Pokemon Home gets an update in early next year. So, day one, Scarlet and Violet meta. What are we going to be getting, and what won't be returning? So that's what this video is basically going to be discussing. What Pokemon from the past 8 generations will be coming back and won't be coming back. And today's focus is going to be the most notable Pokemon that aren't coming back in Scarlet and Violet anytime soon. Maybe there'll be later DLC in 2024 or late 2023, who knows. We'll just have to see if Game Freak announces all of that stuff. But quickly before this video gets into all of the juicy information that you guys care about, like and subscribe to the channel for more content. We are on 160 subscribers. Like, our channel's really getting up there now. So again, I'm going to try and see by the time Gen 9 comes out, like with all the new content that's coming, if we can get to 200 subscribers by the end of the year, I'd really appreciate it, guys. But yeah, let's look into it and let's discuss this. So this is the list that is on the Smogon forums, Orange Islands thread. I'll link this in the description if anyone wants to see this list for themselves. But this list is basically looking at gens 1 to 8, what's coming back and what isn't coming back. So you see all of this color coding right now. I'll zoom in a second, but essentially green means you're in, white means you're not in, and blue means home. So you're going to be coming when the home update comes. And dark green, as you can see with Wooper over here, is pretty tiny, but with Wooper means it got a Paldean form and all of that stuff. But yeah, let's look at what's not coming back in the first generation. So this is going to, I need to zoom out slightly, I think, or move OBS around slightly. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to move OBS around slightly. But yeah, let's look at Generation 1, for example. So obviously we have our boy Charizard coming back, to no one's surprise, which is so much fun. We all love Charizard. So the most notable Pokemon that aren't coming back in from Gen 1 are the Nidoking, to be honest. Nidoking has been an OU staple since sheer force, so it's crazy to see that monster's not coming back, using the massive wall breaker. We of course have Dugtrio because we saw Wiggler and all of that, so it's obvious that Dugtrio and Diglett will be coming back. Arena Trap is probably going to get banned, but we'll see about that as the thing goes on. Magneton is here, so obviously that means Magnezone is back, which will be later on, but I'm so obviously talking about what's not coming back here, so my bad, guys. So Alakazam, that is a big one that's not coming back, and Alakazam was a pretty decent Pokemon. I mean, it definitely felt power creep in Generation 8, but it not coming back is going to be interesting. Now, most of these earlier gen Pokemon, their impact isn't really going to be too missed. Maybe some people are going to be like, Nidoking, I'm going to miss using one of my favorite wall breakers. All of the juicy stuff comes in the later generations, but for now, just looking at Generation 1 Pokemon that aren't coming back, my boy Kingler, we've lost him. We've lost the crab. I'm going to miss Kingler in the lower tiers. That is something that I'm going to miss a lot. Rhydon and Rhyperior basically not coming back. That's pretty sad as well, to be honest. And then anything else from Gen 1 that we care about? No, not really. I mean, all of these legendaries are coming back with Home, so we'll see them early next year. But yeah, Generation 1 doesn't really have anything else. I guess Ninetales not coming back is kind of annoying, but at the same time, Torkoal kind of just did Ninetales' job in terms of drought, so that's not going to be missed too much. But if Kanto Ninetales isn't coming back, then that means Alolan Ninetales might not be coming back, and that's kind of scary for, Hail and all of that stuff. So yeah, Gen 2, in terms of Gen 2, I mean, Gen 2 is kind of just full of mid-mons in general. We're missing Feraligatr again, which is quite unfortunate, to be honest. I would like to see how this mon would actually fare in a meta game. For once, we haven't seen Feraligatr since Gen 7. Kingdra not coming back. That's going to hurt Rain quite a bit. Not going to lie. That is going to hurt Rain quite a bit. In terms of what else isn't coming back, the Porygon line is gone. Porygon 2 is gone, which is kind of insane. Trick Room loses one of the best setters. you know, no teleport, you know, Trick Room. Like P2 is one of the most bulkiest Pokemon in like competitive singles, and I guess they did that in terms of a VGC aspect sort of thing. P2 was very prevalent in, you know, Gen 8 VGC towards like the later years. Again, I'm not a VGC person, but I did attend Worlds, and you know, P2 was basically Trick Room. In a nutshell, like P2 was Trick Room for doubles, so seeing that gone is kind of unfortunate. Gligar not being in means Gliscor again isn't coming back for the second generation in a row, so we're gonna miss Gliscor, honestly. But we'll probably get Landorus T somewhere down the line, but no Gliscor, so yeah. In terms of what else isn't coming back from Gen 2, Scarm, but I mean, Scarm kind of lost its role. Corviknight gone, and if Corviknight is coming back, which it is, yeah, you know, it's not going to be too missed. So, unfortunate for Skarmory here. And then, kind of the legendaries of Gen 2, you know, Raikou, Entei, Suicune. But if you guys have been looking at spoilers, there is going to be some sort of paradox form regarding like these beasts. So, maybe in later DLC we'll see them, but for now, we're not going to see them on day one release. And then Lugia, Ho, and Celebi, those are kind of big ones as well. Celebi wasn't in Gen 8, but Lugia and Ho were. Ho was a pretty good Pokemon in Gen 8 Ubers, while Lugia was kind of falling off because Calyrex Shadow Rider was a Pokemon. So overall, from Gen 2, we're not missing too much. Honestly, like most of the ones in Gen 2 aren't even that good on average compared to the other generations. But seeing things like Heracross, Sizzle, Dunfan come back, unfortunately Blissey. But yeah, losing Kingdra for Rain is bad. Losing P2 for Trick Room is also bad. And then just not having these legendaries in Ubers is going to be an interesting experience. So yeah, that is it in terms of Generation 2. Gen 3 here, we have Flygon isn't here, so this list is already over. Like my favorite Pokemon is not in Gen 9. Do you know how jarring that is to deal with? But in terms of what's not coming back, no Ludicolo, no Shiftry. That's gonna be a hit for Sun-based teams and like the lower tiers, and especially with the way that Sun is shaping up to be in Gen 9 due to certain things that are happening. Losing these Chlorophyll mons are kinda, I mean, Ludicolo switched to him. But losing Shiftry for Sun is quite unfortunate. No Swallow either, which is kind of a shame as well. But things like Breloom is coming back. That's nice. Just from look. Shedinja not making a return with Terastalizing. They really did not want this thing to prosper. I'm not going to lie. They did not want Shedinja to prosper in competitive. But what else is not come back from Gen 3? No Aggron, which is quite unfortunate. I do like Aggron as a Pokemon and using it. No Sharpedo either. I did like Sharpedo. I'm pretty sure that was in Gen 8, so I'm not tripping. Yeah, Carvana was a bitch in LC, so Sharpedo was in Gen 8. Torkoal, Drought is saved. We lost Ninetales, but we still got Torkoal. Also forgot to mention no Politoed in what do you call it, Gen 2 actually. The Politoed is not coming back. That's gonna be a hit for Rain and basically anything that's not a lower tier, but Pelipper's returned, so who gives a shit about Politoed? I'm not gonna lie, nobody cares. But yeah, so Torkoal's coming back for Rain, no Flygon as I've mentioned, quite unfortunate. Crawdon not coming back, one of the deadliest stall breakers in the whole of competitive singles, not coming back. But with the way stall and defensive play is looking in terms of, you know, recovery nerfs, I guess they didn't want it to be too overkill, not like terrestrialization and all of the new abilities and moves are gonna, you know, fuck over defensive play. But that's for another video, innit? Milotic not coming back's kind of sad as well. And other than that, no Metagross either. I mean, Metagross has been, you know, getting hit by power creep for quite a bit now. Like, Metagross used to be like a top tier OU Pokemon, but, you know, kind of shifted into like RU territory. But that not coming back is going to be interesting. And then no Latias or Latios, which is going to be kind of relevant as well, to be fair. But also, you can see that Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza are going to be coming back for home compatibility. So, you know, Ubers is going to be shaken up yet again. Kyogre's coming back to probably just spout something and kill. You know, I mean, Blissey's coming back, so, you know, it's not too bad. But, yeah, no Deoxys for the second gen in a row, and no Jirachi either. So, yeah, that's interesting. So, we're missing some interesting Pokemon from Gen 3, but that's all it is right now. Gen 4, let's look at Gen 4. No starters, no surprise there. I mean, we kind of had their time in BDSP and Legends Arceus, but would have been nice to see them come back. In terms of what else is not coming back, that's pretty big. Tangrowth, I suppose. Like, Tangrowth was a decent Pokemon in Gen 8, so That's going to be kind of annoying. Most of Sinnoh's decks is actually coming like a lot of decent Pokemon other than like Gliscor, Mamoswine, and P. Oh god, no Mamoswine. That's a big one. That's a big one. I won't deny. But other than that, like Gen 4 is looking kind of okay. Like the legendaries or most of them, like Uxie, Azelf, Mesprit, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, Heatran, Crest, and Arceus even. Arceus is coming back into Ubers in Gen 9. That's gonna be one to look out for, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, in terms of what Gen 4 is missing, nothing really that, you know, we care about. Like no Ambipom again, quite unfortunate, I wouldn't lie. But yeah, no Tangrowth, no Gliscor, no Mamoswine. Those are kind of like the biggest ones, to be honest. And yeah, no Darkrai again, no Shaman, but the mythicals will come at a later point in time. I'll tell you that in like maybe 2 years they'll come back. But yeah, only relevant ones from Gen 4, like I said, Gliscor, Mamoswine, potentially PZ, and then Tangrowth. But overall, most of Gen 4's like Dex is back, so they're really enjoying that after, you know, BDSP and Legends. But yeah, on to Gen 5, where like over half of the Dex is just missing from Gen 5, which is quite unfortunate, but like people are just predicting that, you know, Gen 5 remakes in Gen 9, so fair enough how most of them aren't here, and a lot of Gen 5 Pokemon haven't even made an appearance since Generation 7. E.g. the Elemental Monkeys, you know, the Universe Star. No, I mean, yeah, the Universe Stars just won in Gen 8. In terms of what's big that's missing, I guess Gigalith for the loyalties, like that was like P's Bastion in Gen 8. But yeah, especially in like early Sword and Shield, Gigalith was pretty solid in like the lower tiers like EU and RU, so missing that. Rain also taking another hit with Seismitoad gone. I'm hoping, you know, Gen 9 Pokemon have like Swift Swim somewhere, because, you know, Rain is just kind of looking kind of barren right now. But in terms of what else isn't coming back, gonna miss Dharma and Victini, I'm not gonna lie. Dharma and Victini are very fun Pokemon to use. Sun's also taking a hit in terms of that. No Sigilif as well. I'm going to miss Sigilif. That one is fun in the lower tiers. Reuniclus is also gone. Vanillux is also gone. Galvantula, no Ferroford. Let's go. No Ferroford. It's a good day. It's a good day to be alive. It is a good day. Chandelier is gone, which, you know, just makes up for the massive amount of ghost fires that, you know, are in the game right now. So I guess they're just like, we don't need Chandelier, we don't need it. But yeah, anything else that I'm seeing, I mean, all of the legendaries kind of just apply to, you know, Ubers like Reshiram and Zekrom. Zekrom was also a pretty good Pokemon in Gen 8 Ubers. Reshiram not so much, and Kyurem was just banned from OU, you know, mid-late of the generation. I was kind of arse in Ubers in general, but, you know, if there's no Kyurem, then that means there's no Kyurem Black or White in Ubers. They want Ubers for Gen 9 is going to be insane. I'll say that for certain. It'll be insane, but seeing Meloetta getting a transfer for home is also pretty cool, and Tornadus and Thunderous and Landorus. So we're gonna get Lando T in March, but day one is not there, so that's gonna be pretty interesting. But otherwise, yeah, Gen 5 is missing quite a few Pokemon. Most of their Pokemon, relevant ones being Ferrothorn, the Swords of Justice, I suppose, Mandibuzz, Gigalith, I suppose, for the loyalties, and Excadrill. Excadrill, Conkeldurr, and Seismitoad. Like, these guys, Gen 5 took a hit. I'm not gonna lie, Gen 5 took a hit, but yeah, they'll probably bounce back. Gen 6, on the other hand, Gen 6 obviously having the least amount of Pokemon out of the gens. All of these starters are coming back. They deserve to come back, honestly. Like, we've missed Greninja, but with, you know, word on the street about the protein nurse, we'll see how that works. Also, that means Ash Greninja can potentially come back, which would be very interesting in general, in my opinion. But, biggest victims from not coming back from Generation 6. Aegislash, that's a big one. Diggersby's also a big one as well. And the three legendaries. These guys not being in Ubers. Yeah, these guys not being in Ubers, massive changes. Massive changes to the meta game. Evoltor was meta defining in Generation 8, to be honest. Xerneas meta defining in Gen 6, Gen 7, and Gen 8 as well. Xerneas was top 10 Pokemon in Ubers in the meta. Zygarde C not being in as well. Regular Zygarde, even Zygarde 10, the lower tiers are gonna miss that one for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. But in terms of what's not going to be there day one, but it's coming back at home, like I mentioned, the Kalos starters. Hooper. We haven't seen Hooper in Gen 8, so I'm happy Hooper's back. Hooper Unbound is probably one of my favorite wall breakers to use. And Volcanion's also coming back later, which, was in Gen 8, so it's going to be okay. But, yeah. Ubers is going to be shaken up by not having basically Xerneas and Evoltol. Slash being gone is kind of unfortunate, and also Diggersby. Diggersby was also a pretty cool wall breaker. But yeah, those are like some of the best Pokemon from Gen 6 that aren't coming back. Let me just move my screen up for Alola and Gala. Okay, that's fine. So in terms of Alola, what's not coming back from Alola, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, Toxapex made a return, but we shan't move. No Silvally. I enjoy Silvally. That's going to be pretty sad to see gone. But, yeah, quite unfortunate. I guess, Terastalizing plus Silvally isn't really the best combination in terms of, from a programming standpoint. So I guess they just had to nuke Silvally. But Arceus is coming back, so I don't know how they're going to deal with that. But, Silvally gets no love. Cool. On like first appearance, no Incineroar. That's gonna be insane for doubles. VGC losing like their most dominating Pokemon for the last 2 generations just isn't gonna be there anymore. So that's gonna be pretty big for VGC. Como being gone as well, it got his signature move in Gen 8 for it to just get shafted. But the only reason why I care about Generation 7 is because there's no more of these guys. No more of these guys. Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Bulu, Finny. No more Tapus in Generation 9. This is going to change the meta completely. And the meta is already getting changed enough. With new Pokemon coming, certain Pokemon not coming back. But the fact that there's no Tapus, no terrain, is insane. Like, I could speak about the Tapus not coming back being massive for competitive singles, but would be here for at least like so much longer than this video needs to be. But yeah, just seeing the Tapus not coming back, terrain is going to be a different level. I'm hoping Gen 9 introduces some new terrain Pokemon, but I mean, yeah, seeing how the Paradox Pokemon work, again, I won't get too much into that, but yeah, no Tapus, interesting. No Ultra Beast either, so that's gonna be pretty interesting as well. No Melmetal, Zeraora. A lot of the strongest Pokemon we've seen in the last 2 generations did come from Generation 7, and not seeing some of these Pokemon come back for Generation 9 is gonna just shake up the meta game completely, especially in terms of Ubers. I mean, Solgaleo wasn't anything too impressive in Ubers, like DM Necrozma was just outclassing it. Also not having Necrozma Dustmane in Ubers. Wow. Like, you look at Gen 7 and Gen 8 Ubers, and you see the massive difference between those two is the fact that Arceus isn't in Gen 8. But at the same time, there's still fundamental Pokemon that were in Gen 7 Ubers that are in Gen 8 Ubers, like Mewtwo. Probably not the best example, to be honest. Mewtwo was kind of shit. Evoltol, Xerneas, Necrozma, DM, all of those were in Gen 7, Gen 8, But with Gen 9, none of those Pokemon are there. So Ubers is going to be a completely different hellscape. Probably some of the Paradox Pokemon will be seeing the light of day in Ubers. I don't know. It's going to be insane. And especially with like Home coming back in terms of Dialga and Palkia. That will bring things back to how it usually is. But a lot of Uber's mainstays that were in previous generations just aren't coming. And you'll see that with Gen 7. So yeah, that's interesting. And then moving on to Gen 8, the last. Now, seeing how Gen 8 was pretty much the last generation, like, most of their decks had to come back. It wouldn't make sense to, just shaft most of Galar's decks because it was just the previous generation. So, biggest things that aren't coming back in Generation 8, not seeing the fossils like Arctozol, Arctovish, Dracozolt, and Dracovish. Specifically Dracovish because that one got banned to Ubers. So, yeah. So Dracovish not being in Gen 8, in Gen 9 is something that they don't have to worry about. Those are probably some of the biggest ones from Gen 8 specifically, because these guys kind of messed house in Gen 8. Like, Arctozol kind of saw, resurgence in UU because Hail was kind of broken. Dracozolt was also solid because it had 100 attack, Dragon Electric typing. Dracovish got banned, and then Arctovish kind of got the short end of the stick, but it was still a Pokemon that menaced, NU and PU for a certain period of time. So, obviously, We haven't mentioned like Galar forms, sorry. But yeah, stuff like Darmanitan, which isn't coming back, so we don't have to deal with Darmanitan, Galar, stuff like that. And but yeah, all of these Pokemon that are in blue, obviously a lot of them are just going to be home transfers, specifically the legendaries like Zacian, Zamazenta, Eternatus. Zacian and Zamazenta got heavily nerfed with their abilities. You can check that if you're interested in previous Pokemon but don't want to see like Gen 9 leaks. Shifu as well. Like, again, the meta will be shaken up once the Hisui Pokemon come, number one, and number two, all of the other legendaries from Gen 8 coming back, because these guys were silly. Like, we're going to get Calyrex Shadow in March. Most likely, we're gonna get Calyrex, Ice Rider, Urshifu, Single Strike, Zacian. I mean, Zacian's taking a massive hit with Intrepid Sword being one time per battle. Like, that is just kind of insane. But, you know, things like Cinderace will eventually come back, and, you know, Rillaboom as well. Both pretty meta-defining Pokemon in their own right. Inteleon, on the other hand, is just Inteleon, so who actually cares? But, yeah. So, yeah, Gen 8 is mostly keeping most of their Pokemon. But yeah, most of their main heavy hitters regarding like the Hisui decks and you know the legendaries will be coming back late earlier, you know, in the next year. So yeah, that is it in terms of all of the Pokemon that aren't coming back in Gen 9. A lot of these are kind of game changing, particularly the Tapus from Generation 7, and the fact that some of the legendaries that were, you know, dominating in Ubers aren't going to be there or are coming with the home update, which is going to be later next year. So, yeah, that is it. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down below what your favorite Pokemon that isn't coming back in Scarlet and Violet. I have to say Flygon, my favorite Pokemon of all time, didn't make the cut, so that's quite unfortunate. Those racist guys in Paldea are not liking my Flygon, bro. I don't know what to tell you guys, but yeah, leave a comment down below if you enjoyed this video, and also what Pokemon you think is gonna be like the biggest impact in terms of not coming back in Gen 9. Like, obviously, I still think it's the Tapus. Those four Pokemon kind of just define Gen 7 and Gen 8 from both singles and doubles perspective. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.